Week 10 of the fantasy football season, and here's a few quarterbacks I have as sleeper options this week. The first guy, Teddy Bridgewater of the Denver Broncos. So Bridgewater last week had a nice bounce-back ball game at the Dallas Cowboys with 249 passing yards, a touchdown, a rushing touchdown, and a two-point conversion. And this week he had Denver's back at home in Denver, obviously, and they versus a Philadelphia Eagle team that's pretty vulnerable, in my opinion, versus the pass. But right now they give up the 16th most fantasy points to quarterbacks on the season. And Bridgewater, he's available in 71% of fantasy leagues, and he's been a pretty decent option for most of the year, with his two worst weeks of the season being week 4 and week 8. But I think this week versus Philly, I could easily see him going 200, 220 yards and finding the end zone twice in this one. And all his receivers are healthy now in Judy, Sutton, and Tim Patrick. And Noah Fant, we'll see if he plays in this ball game as well. But I like the matchup a lot. And if you're in a 2-quarterback league, obviously, or a deeper league, I think he's a good option this week, is Teddy Bridgewater as a sleeper. The next quarterback's Trevor Siemian of the New Orleans Saints. So Trevor Siemian so far filling in for Jameis Winston. He's looked pretty decent, in my opinion. Week 8 versus Tampa Bay, 159 passing yards, a touchdown in that one. And Week 9 versus the Falcons, 249 passing yards and 2 touchdowns in that one with a fumble loss. So right here, Week 10, he's got a good matchup at the Tennessee Titans is Siemian. The Titans give up the 9th most fantasy points to quarterbacks. A few weeks here, this Titan defense has been good, in my opinion, making stops, getting to the quarterback, and holding offenses down. We saw them hold the Rams offense down pretty well, and we saw them shut down Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs to 3 points a few weeks ago. But right here, I could see garbage time for Siemian, or I could even see a competitive game as well for most of this game. So right here, he's available in 95% of fantasy leagues, and the deepest of leagues in 2-quarterback leagues, obviously. I would give him play as a sleeper option this week. And the third and final quarterback I have as a sleeper is Trevor Lawrence of the Jacksonville Jaguars. So Trevor Lawrence here, it's been a mediocre rookie season for Lawrence, in my opinion. Last couple weeks, he's definitely struggled. Week 8 at Seattle, 238 passing yards with a touchdown and an into, which the touchdown came in garbage time. And Week 9 versus Buffalo, only 118 yards and 4 yards rushing. But hey, they won that ball game 9-6. And this week here, on paper, it's a good matchup at the Indianapolis Colts. They give up the 2nd most fantasy points to quarterbacks on the season. And right here, I think Trevor Lawrence could have a good ball game in this one. The Colts defense we saw last week give Josh Johnson a good fantasy day, even though most of his points did come in garbage time for the New York Jets. But right here, Lawrence, he's going to have to throw the ball a lot, in my opinion. This Indianapolis Colts defense is great against the run, and they're going to make Lawrence try to beat him. But I think Lawrence could put up anywhere from 18 to 20 fantasy points, and is a decent sleeper option, available in 64% of fantasy leagues. So that's a few quarterbacks I have as sleeper options for Week 10 of the fantasy football season.